I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
What's up, everybody? I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
Writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid, the relationship architect.
Welcome to Books-N-Brothas podcast. What's up, bro? What's happening? I see you doing big things over there.
You know, I'm finally in my dining room. You're not in the office, so I'm glad to be back. Usually I'm here, but last couple of weeks I've been here and there and everywhere.
No, I see you dropping big things. You got a book coming out.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it real quick.
Yep, 19 Covert Street, working with Publishers Advantage Group, illustration team, and we got something for kids that helps show them what to do during the pandemic. I thought about, man, it was inspired by our podcast, actually. We were talking about children's books, and I was like, man, I should write something. Went to bed, couldn't sleep. I think I hit you up that next morning and was like, I got to get this done, because I think you were dropping some jewels, and I was like, oh, why not? So this is my first out-of-the-box thing that I've ever, done as far as children's book. But it's going to be dope, and I'm excited to get it. The response has been crazy already.
Dope. When does it come out? What's the date?
I want to release it, man, on my birthday, September. I want to do it September.
Oh, you got a while. So it got about a month. So September. What's your birthday? September what? 20 something.
25th.
Right? 25th. Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
September 25th. You need to come to the A. I'll be in the A on the 20. Well, that whole weekend. What's the 20?
Oh, really? I might do that. Let's go.
But I got I'll tell you about it off air, but
you got something.
The 25th, I'm going down on the 25th and I don't have nothing planned. We can kick it.
Let's definitely make it happen, bro.
You can't go to the A. But yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, I'll be in Atlanta that weekend, bro.
What you got going down there? We'll talk about it though.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air. But yeah, everything good over here. Man, just working, just trying to help as many people as possible, like just get it done. And I think it fits what we're going to talk about tonight. You know, a lot of people, man, just they allow their fears to get in the way of them just getting started. And before we jump into it and before I share the topic with them, I thought about when I have like taken the leap to do something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about taking a leap and stepping out on faith and doing something when you're not ready. Like when all of the ducks are not in a row. It's almost like when you're at the Red Sea, that's when God shows up. It's almost like when the oil is getting ready to run out. It's almost like when the cubby is empty is when God shows up. And that's when and what I think about is that's when I'm the most creative.
Yeah.
Now put myself in a position to stretch myself. I'm the most creative because I have to make something happen.
Yeah.
But when I'm comfortable, I'm not taking risks, I'm not, doing nothing, I'm not stepping out on faith. You can get in this comfortable state, but you're not growing.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So I don't know if you relate to that. Do you relate to that too? It's like when I push myself, that's when I'm able to be the most creative and make stuff happen.
Yeah, it's one of the things, man, I was thinking about this week. Funny you say that just with the book, because people say, how did you come about doing it? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't set out to do the children's book. It was that night when we got on that call. And I hit you up after that. I was like, man, it was just flowing, this podcast, and I couldn't even sleep.
Right.
It was like, I don't even know where to start. And he was like, man, boom, reached out, you connected me to the right people. And because immediately, though, fear hit me. It was kind of like, you trying to do this, you out of your lane.
Right.
And it was like, why are you focused on that? But it wouldn't leave me.
Right.
And then when I was like, yo, as soon as I hit you up, it's like all the pieces fell in line. And it's like, I started being creative. It's like, I think I sent you a whole synopsis the next day.
But just think about this, bro. And this just came to me as you were speaking. Now that you have this book, 19 Covert Street, right? And tell them real quick, did you tell them what it's about? What is it about real quick? What is the synopsis of the book?
It's about a young kid who's sitting in his living room and finds out the school's being canceled. And what I love about Hero, his name is Hero by nature.
Right.
And what I like about it, it's dope, is that he takes a positive attitude and says, okay, even in the pandemic, he takes responsibility, being young, to save the people on his street and inform them and help them. And as he's obedient, he begins to get these superpowers.
So think about the lane you just opened up to do virtual Zoom classes to talk to kids about COVID and what happened and changing their mindset about it. Like, you just created several more checks for you, because there's not only parents looking for somebody to break this down to their kids. There are schools, there are school districts, there are, complete states, cities, towns that are looking for somebody with the information, and you already got the book for them. So I just want to tell y'all, man, if y'all not getting this information that we're giving away for free in this podcast, and y'all not sharing it, like, it's too much. This stuff is invaluable. And a guy, I don't know if I told you, a guy hit me up about the podcast, and he wanted me to do one of the ideas that I gave away on the podcast, which was create a quote book about The Last Dance, right? All of the quotes from The Last Dance. He asked me what I do with him. I was like, nah, you do that. I got too much other stuff to do. Like, that's why I gave it away on the podcast. If I was going to do it, I would have never just given it away on the podcast. But I said, man, be my guest, man. I wish you much success with it. You don't have to give me nothing. No, I don't want to do it with you. I got too much stuff. And the funny thing is too, people crack me up, like when they fill out the application to work with me, and I ask them what's their title and their idea for their book, and they say, I'm not going to say because you might steal it. I'm like, I got too much stuff on my own. I don't have time to steal from people. Like, ideas are a dime a dozen. I got books of ideas. Like, I don't need to steal from anybody. And that be the thing. Like, I give away so much stuff because I don't have the capacity or the time to do it.
And that's true, man. I feel the same way. It's so much content. If you just listen and just do it, I mean, it's daily. Like you said, books of stuff, books of ideas. And one of the things people have to understand, man, is this is what we do. We want to see you succeed. We come every week, and we say this all the time, sacrifice our schedules, 1,000 things we could be doing right now, but we're committed to this podcast and getting you information so that you can be the best book writer, author, whatever you want to do.
For sure. All right, bro, let's jump into the topic. So these are the fears that are stopping you from writing a book. These are the top fears that we've come across that is stopping you from writing a book. And because bro created this topic, I'm going to let him kick it off. So what's the first one, bro? What's the
segue on what we just talked about, trust. One of the biggest things that I find with writing coaching, people who write a book, when we do seminars, we do master classes, it's like, for the most part, we're trying to gain that trust to let you know that, hey, because we've had people say to us, what do you mean? This price and y'all can give us all of this? I don't believe it.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, where's the catch?
Right.
And we're like, it's not a catch. We want to see you succeed. One of the things, Kelly, you were talking about in the last episode, or a couple episodes back, we talked gears offline before we even started doing this podcast about making, when I first met him, one of the things we used to have a conference call that we used to do weekly, I believe. Yeah. And one of the things that Kelly used to always say is that I want to be in a position to make people's dreams come true.
Yeah.
And he never said I want to be in a position to make money doing that. He was like, I want to be able to just make people's dreams come true.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest things, man. One of our mutual acquaintance, he was on the show too, Rodney, will say to us all the time that one of the hardest part of doing what I do as a writing coach and inspiring what we do is to really, we're selling dreams. Yeah. We're trying to really get your dream on. And a lot of times, man, it takes me a while to gain the trust of writers, to gain the trust of people when you really genuinely want to help them. So I think the biggest thing that I would say, hey, man, trust. Don't let your trust get in the way. You got to trust somebody. You know, we've all, in a business or in anything we want to do, it's always that risk that you have to say you got to calculate. But I think the biggest thing that I want to talk about first would be the trust issue.
Yeah, that's good. And let's be honest, part of the reason why they don't trust is because there's so many crooks out here. There's so many scams out here. There's so many people out here promising them they're going to do stuff that they really can't do, or they take the money and they're not doing it. Like, I'm watching this feud online right now between these two mega real estate moguls where one is taking people's money. I'm not gonna say no names, but if you're hip to the culture, or you paying attention to what's going on, you know what I'm talking about. But if we're honest, there's a lot of dishonest people out there, which is why people have a hard time trusting. Which, you know, I don't blame them. I get so many people that come to me to work with me, and they say, well, I was working with this company and they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing they said they were doing. That's why I'm glad one of my most powerful testimonials, they say I do everything I say I'm going to do. If I can't do it, I'm not going to paint you this dream or tell you I can't do it. I do exactly what I tell you I'm going to do, and I stand by that. So, and two, like you said, you got to learn to trust somebody. Yeah. So I remember the first time I got scammed on the internet. I was flipping websites at the time, right? So I had this website. I don't even remember the name of the site. I hadn't even built the site on it yet, but I bought the domain name. Okay. A guy found the domain name and said that he wanted to buy it. He said he wanted to buy it for $5,000. Okay. You do the math. The domain name cost me, I think it was $10 at the time. He told me he wanted to buy it for $5,000. And I'm like, okay, deal, sold, right? Here's where he got me. Here's how he scammed me. He told me in order for him to buy it, I had to have it appraised. But I couldn't just have it appraised on my own. I had to use his appraisal company, right? The appraisal company that he recommended. So he sent me the link to, right? So he sent me the link to the appraisal company. And to get it appraised, it was $80, right? So I get it appraised using the link that he sent me. And then he said he didn't want to buy it anymore, although it did appraise for the $5,000. So he scammed me out of the $80 to get the appraisal done, right? He didn't really want to buy the domain. He just wanted the $80 appraisal fee. Yeah. Now, I say that to say, when that happened, and it happened early on in my internet journey, like I was just so new, I was so fresh. I was probably on the internet, had my business online for probably 2-3 months. I said that to say, I didn't stop doing business on the internet. I didn't say, okay, this whole internet stuff is a scam. I ain't gonna trust nobody. I'm not gonna do no more business on the internet. I'm not gonna flip no more sites. I went on to make over 6 figures flipping websites. So it didn't stop me. So I've just said that to piggyback on, don't let, your lack of trust for people because of past experience. Like, you should get everybody a clean slate. Now, you should be smarter in how you do business. I'm definitely smarter in how I do business, but that doesn't stop me from trusting and doing. All right?
That's good.
So yeah, I can talk about that all day because I've been scammed a couple of times. And bro, and I promise you, bro, you ain't even probably heard that story, have you?
Nope.
You've never heard that story. So I don't even talk about it. I don't cry about, okay, this happened or this person took money from me or this person. I don't even talk about that. You know what I do? I just keep going. Bro ain't never heard that story. We've been friends over 10 years going on right now. So he ain't never heard that story. He ain't never heard me say I got scammed. I got scammed a couple years ago. He ain't even know. I ain't get down. I ain't be like, oh my God. Well, man, bro, they out here scamming.
Right. I ain't never heard it.
There's dishonest people, and you just got to keep rolling with it. All right. I'm going to go with the biggest one. Bro sent some of these on the list. So I'm going to go with the biggest one that I hear the most. All right. Here's one of the fears that keeps you from writing a book, and it's money. Like, you are afraid to make the investment. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this. I talked about this before we got started. Fear of making an investment, that's going to always be a problem because you're never going to get all those ducks in a row. There's always going to be something on the plate. If it wasn't COVID, guess what? It's going to be something else. So you're going to have to eventually take that leap, make your deposit, start walking in the direction, and not being afraid to lose. You can't lose investing in a book. Why? Because you always have a product that's going to bring you residual income. You always have a product that you can go and sell.
Yep.
Like, think about that. You have a product that you can open up shop on any corner. You can go to coffee houses. You can go to restaurants. You can go to libraries all over the country. You can go to malls, rent kiosks all over the country and sell your book. Does that make sense?
Yep.
There's a guy who I saw, he put together a tour and all he did was look for open mics, right? Open mics where he could do poetry. He wasn't even a poet. What he did was he had his son write him a short poem to go in the back of his book. And he read that on stage and told people that he had his book. And he went from city to city, going to coffee houses, doing open houses, selling his book, spitting a poem that he didn't even write.
Wow.
So how can you lose? When you write a book, your book is going to be around here forever. It's a legacy. It's a seed. It is never going away. So the fear of investment, the fear of not having the money, and let's be honest, I think we talked about this before on another podcast. You have the money. You just choose to spend it on what you want to spend it on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people who say they don't have the money, they got the new Jordan. They got that Chanel bag. They got that Gucci bag. They got that Louis bag. They just went on that, they just came back from Mexico. They just came back from wherever. You know what I'm saying? Like people buy what they want and beg for what they need.
Yeah.
An investment in the book is something that's going to bring you income over and over. It is a gift that keeps on giving. I'm going to say this last thing, bro, then I'm going to pass it back to you. You remember we had a conversation, I think it was after our first writers conference or workshop we did, right? The book it, after we did the first booking in Manassas. And I told you, I was like, yo, bro, I was like, I don't feel bad for offering them a book publishing package. And you was like, why? I said, because if we don't get in here and give them an opportunity to sow a seed in their legacy, when they leave here, Nike's going to get it.
Yep.
Chanel's going to get the money. The mall is going to get it. The restaurant is going to get it. If you just stop buying lunch every day, you would have money to invest in your book.
That's true.
If you just stop buying coffee every day, you got money to invest in your book. If you stop buying shoes, you can invest in your book. If you just said no to some of the luxuries that you say no to for a period of time, I want you to get that through your. It's not forever. It's just for a short period of time where you're going to invest, so that investment can pay for liabilities, can pay for vacations, can buy you coffee every day. I just got my my Amazon royalties today. I can go eat Chinese food. I love Chinese food. I can go buy me some Jordans. I can go do whatever it is that I want, because guess what? I've invested in getting my books done, and now it is residual income.
Wow. I mean, and that's one of the most perfect, the thing, I'm going to piggyback on that. The first time we did the book it in Manassas, the ethnic events, we sold out. What I mean by that, we had to stay behind because people were still signing up.
Yeah.
I remember it's a segue that's leading me into my next point. When somebody asked you a question and it was candid. I wish we could show the highlight reel of this.
I got it.
You were midstream. And you're basically in your teaching, because this guy's a whole different animal. When he's up talking, you were in the clothes in the room, you were talking, and you were like, somebody asked a question, just out of the blue. I think the question was, hey, what if nobody reads this book? Or something like that. What did you say? The question was like, what if they don't read it? Or what if they don't do whatever? And you came back and said,
so what did I say? It don't even matter. They're not going to read it anyway.
Right. You said they're not going to read it anyway, which brings up my point. What's so powerful about it is you're writing the book because it's your design. Yeah, you want to sell. We all want to sell, but I see people all the time, Kelly, I'm sure they say, well, how much money I'm going to make? And you really don't know. These bestsellers out here didn't know they were going to be bestsellers. They wrote it because they had something to say. So my second point, and we'll swing that back over to you if you remember that story later on. But the second point I have is people have to overcome the fear of rejection. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that people are, I don't know if I got a story to tell. I don't know if they're going to look at it or like it or read it. At the end of the day, so what? What's powerful part, you were able to give your dream. Like Kelly talked about a residual. I mean, you're not going to be caring about rejection when you get that residual check. You're not going to be caring when you on the bestsellers list or they turn your book into a movie. Why are you caring? what somebody else is going to do, because people will talk you out of it. I had so many people who told me, man, you want to write a book? You want to do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Why are you wasting your time with that? Why don't you
Right.
do whatever? And I'm like, I had to understand myself, like, hey, it doesn't even really matter, if they buy it or they don't, because once it's in the ground, man, like this book right now, I just put it out, just announcement. People want to order it not only by one. You got people now, Kelly, say, can I get 10?
Yeah.
Like, can I get some for my whole school class?
Right.
Well, somebody could have said, I'm not writing a children's book. I could have said, I'm not writing a children's book because that's not what I do, right? But I had to hear that sound, hear that voice, and be convinced, and then not worry about the rejection. But go ahead, Kelly, finish that story. You remember that was so powerful.
Yeah. So I think the question was, should I write about it? Should I write the story or tell my business story or talk about my business like this in the book? Or should I do this in the book? I said, it don't matter. They're not going to read it anyway. Just write the book. And it's a marketing tool. Like, that's what I'm trying to get them in their head. Like, your book is your new business card, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you got a business, you're trying to do speaking and all of that. The book is the new business card. The book is the key that unlocks the door to all of the stuff that you really want, which is the speaking engagements and things like that, because that's where you're going to really make your money. Like I just told you, the book Doc just wrote, he opened up so many doors for speaking engagements because of the topic and the niche of the book. Nobody wrote a children's book about the COVID. He just wrote it. It's coming out next month. It's in the can. It's already done. The illustration is done. It's ready to go. It's coming out next month. Mm-hmm. The kids are not going back to school in a lot of states and a lot of cities. It's ready to go. He has a topic. He can hit up these teachers. They got the budgets. He can, man, I just thought about some. I can hook you up with the superintendent in Detroit who's trying to pay me to do an online, just do a guest appearance via Zoom for online class. Like, the money is out there.
Yep.
Because why? Why did they contact me? I got a book.
Yep.
I'm an expert. I'm an expert in all of the things that my book is about. Piggybacking on your rejection, a young lady hit me up about this movie that she's promoting. Right? She's in LA. I'm in Bristol, Virginia. I never met her before. She's in LA. She asked me would I watch this movie with the Christian comedian Michael, I think his name Michael Jr. Michael Jr., the Christian comedian Michael Jr. There's this new Christian movie called Selfie Dad. It's about dads. And she asked me will I watch it and then share it. And she was like, and I was like, cool, yeah, I'll check it out as soon as I get a chance. And I'll for sure I'll share it. And she was like, yeah. She said, I need to go ahead and I need to implement what I read in your books and get my journal popping. And I was like, oh, dope. I was like, what books did you get? And she was like, yeah, I got your Get Locked In book and I got the journal. And I was like, oh, dope. I was like, what did you think? And she was like, that's what I mean by implement. I got to read it. And I started laughing. And I was like, it's cool. I said, I got a bunch of books I need to read. I was like, no problem. I said, whenever you read it, just let me know. But guess what? She paid for them. So I don't care if she reads it or not. She bought the book. Now, if I didn't write the book, she couldn't have bought the book, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So you need to get over the rejection or worrying about is somebody going to read it, is somebody going to watch it. If the topic is good, you got a nice cover, you got a nice title, and what you're writing about is intriguing, they're going to buy it. But you are going to get people who are going to read it. If you go check out that book got 5-star reviews because the information is powerful. It was a guy, they're doing all of these Facebook groups now supporting Black business. It was a guy, he said, he made a post. He's like, yo, I want to support Black authors. Drop your book link below. I dropped my book link. He went and bought Get Locked In, and he was like, yo, hold on, I want to read it. I want to read what he said. Yeah. Because I got it right here. Hold on, let me see if I got it. Y'all bear with me. It's close. It's not far.
It's crazy.
I just saw it, what he posted.
And if you know what I mean, the biggest thing is that, like Kelly was saying, if you hadn't written the book, they couldn't have bought it.
Yeah, if I didn't write the book, they couldn't bought it. All right, here you go. The guy goes, he says, ladies and gentlemen, I have successfully completed chapter 1 and have already concluded. This book is a must read. He read chapter 1. Okay. He read the first chapter, and then I forgot, I didn't get the screenshot of what he said after he read it. But he basically said it was dope. But he read the first chapter and said, this is a must read.
Yeah.
But just think about if I didn't write the book, I would still be saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. So a lot of y'all that lost a lot of money in COVID season because you were afraid. Before COVID happened, you were afraid to invest in your book. But you had a book or a topic on getting over trauma, over loneliness, over a lot of the things, anxiety, over a lot of things that people were searching for and needing the answer to in this season. And you didn't write the book, so you lost a lot of money. All right. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna use another one on your list that you gave, piggybacking on that. Lack of confidence. You didn't write the book because you didn't have the confidence. You don't feel like you have anything to say. And let me tell you this, because you have a story and you went through anything in your life, you have something to say. It's just how you put it together in a teaching mechanism and how it can be used to help somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? How it can be used to solve a problem of anxiety, how it can be used to solve a problem of loneliness. My book, Get Locked In, is all about focus. It's all about focus, laser focus to achieve your dreams. How can I do that? I've done it over and over and over again. And sometimes, I get clowned for being so focused. But guess what? The proof is in the pudding. The results speak for themselves. So get over your lack of confidence because you do have something to say. Your book will help somebody, and it will open doors for you to speak, to train, to do coaching, to have your own coaching program, to get your own clients. And that's where the real money is. All right? All right, bro.
Yeah, that's dope. And it works. Consistency, you just being able to get it out there. One of the things that I would say again, man, is why people don't or fear is resources. Resources is one of the number one things. It's up there too that I hear. I don't know how. And that's not an excuse. You not knowing how is not an excuse. You feeling like I don't have a resource when there's so many. Like if you went, I think you're on 30 something. I don't know what episode this is. But even if you didn't know anything about books, if you started from day one when podcast hit and you got all the way to 30, you got enough to write a library just off of these 30, 45-minute podcasts that we give you. So resources, man, I hear it all the time, where to go. Well, there's no dumb question. If you ask me where to go, I'm going to point you in the direction of a Kelly or somebody that can help you, right? So if you don't ask the question, how you expect to get the answer? And I hear people all the time say, I don't have the resource. I would do it if I knew how to do it. I'm like, well, did you ask? Or did you do whatever? And then you get into the whole thing about people sometimes outsmarting themselves. Well, there's not enough resources out there to do it anyway. I'm like, what is your idea? I don't know, you might get this all the time. You tell people what your idea. Now, I'm not going to do that. It's a foolish idea. Sort of kind of piggybacks on a lack of confidence, but also resources. Because people won't, which also takes the trust issue too, you don't take the time to be plugged into something. There's so many people that could be helped, but they don't stay still long enough to get the resources. I pointed people. I mean, we've I mean, it's been times where I've literally given people the information and they ain't do anything about it. And you come back and they say, why are you not doing whatever? And they'll say, because I ain't had no help.
Right.
I had no resource. I said, I gave you everything in the email and people didn't even look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's crazy. Like you said, if they went back and listened to every episode of this podcast, you'll learn how to write a book, where to start, how to write, how to publish, and market your book to the bestsellers list.
Yep.
You'll learn how to turn that book into a 6-figure money machine. You'll learn how to turn that book into speaking engagement. You'll learn how to turn that book into a coaching program just from these free podcasts. Now, I'm going to take you a step further. Anybody can go to YouTube and learn anything.
Yep.
For free. You want to learn how to start and write a book, you can go to YouTube. There was a guy that told me that I had a call with. He told me that he put my YouTube videos in a playlist and just listened to them one by one while he was working. Just my YouTube videos. You can go to Instagram, go to Publishing Adventures Group Instagram, and there's video content on there. How to start writing your book, how to market your book, how to get traction to your book, how to get sales, how to get be a best-selling author. Do you need a ghostwriter? Like, these are different topics and different things that I cover in my free content. So there are no excuses on, like you said, resources and why to start. There's too many free ones out there. There's too many free resources out there now. Even if you're too good for the free resources, guess what? You can invest in a course. There's so many courses out there. Like, I just bought a real estate course. I'm taking the course. Why? Because I want to learn how to get into real estate.
Yeah.
Was I afraid to invest? No, it cost me $1,000 for this course. And guess what? The first video I watched was worth $1,000.
Right.
The first video I watched, I learned something that I can get my investment back.
Yeah.
Period. Now, what did you invest to listen to this podcast? Nothing but time. Nothing but time. And we give away the content. Like I said, I gave a guy, I guarantee you, if he did it right, that was $1 million idea. Take the quotes from The Last Dance and turned it into a book.
Yep.
That was $1 million idea that I gave away. Why do you think I gave that away? Because I got so many I'm implementing. I don't have to worry about that.
That's right.
Now, just think about this, though. I reach my goals in real estate. How many people you think going to ask me how to get started in real estate? And what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it into a book. I'm going to turn it into a course, and I'm going to turn it into a workshop. And guess what? People are going to book me to come speak about it. Yo, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you start your real estate company and run a successful book publishing company? And then I'm just going to tell them. I'm just going to tell them. You get what I'm saying? And you learn by doing. I didn't come out. My dream when I was in high school, I didn't say, oh, my God, when I grow up, I want to own a book publishing company. Like, I love books. No, I wanted to go to the NFL, bruh. I went to college to play football, bro. I was going to the league. I wanted to play for the Chicago Bears until I went to college and saw there was a whole nother level. I didn't love football as much as I thought I loved football. you feel me? I didn't love it as much as I thought I did. College football was a whole nother level. That's where I found out I didn't love it. I had to come back home and figure out something else to do. But I didn't develop a love or know what book publishing was, or knew that this was the type of business I wanted to start until I actually published my first book. Right? I published my first book, then people start coming and asking me how I did it. That was the birth of Publishing Advantage Group. And then I enjoyed, like Doc said, helping people dreams come true. That's always been my thing. I want to help as many people's dreams come true. And that's been my thing. And that's why I get the biggest joy out of publishing somebody's book and then handing them that first copy and just the tears going down their face. Like, there's no greater feeling than that.
I love it. It is. It's no greater feeling than when you see somebody you've helped and you make that. It's like you rejoicing with them. Yep. You know, they got over their hump. They got over their fears, whatever trust issues. And it's worth it. I mean, I think, too, man, if it doesn't make you second guess yourself, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
If it's big enough and it's really going to be something that really, like you said earlier, when you get that rush, you'll always have that second thought like, okay, but you got to definitely jump.
Yeah, you need to jump, man. And if you don't get anything from this episode, is getting over your fear, taking that leap. Like, don't be afraid. Like, you can't lose in investing with a book. The only way you lose is if you don't do nothing.
Right.
Like, you can't build it and then just think that they're going to come. No, you're going to have to market it. You're going to have to put out consistent content. You're going to have to go get vendor tables. Like, I got a vendor table. Both my girls have books and T-shirts. I got them a vendor table. I think it was $25, right? Mm-hmm. $25 to set up at this Juneteenth event, right? For a table. And I think my baby girl left with like 300. I think my oldest daughter, she left with about 200 off of a $25 investment. And I left with about 250 because you know I put my stuff out there.
You had a spot too.
I paid for the table. So I had my stuff, you know, baby girl stuff, Lexus stuff. And guess what? They sold T-shirts and shirts, and they were just talking to people. And guess what? They made money. $25 for a vendor spot. You can't lose with a book, with a product, because you have something to sell.
Yes.
You have something to sell, and you should always have your books with you. You never know when you can make a sale. In the grocery store, if you're, you never know, and people will start sparking up a conversation with you and asking you, what do you do? And you ain't even got to mention it. They'll keep asking you questions, and you say, well, I wrote a book about Shark Tank, or I wrote a book about Focus, or I wrote a book about this, and they'd be like, oh, you got a copy, or where can I get it? Like, yeah, I got one. Happens all the time. Go ahead, man.
I think, man, that's so powerful, man. The last thing I want to say really with that is people also, I think one of the biggest fears is not on the list that I was just sitting here thinking about is the unknown.
Yes.
The fear of the unknown is just like, I talk to people all the time, man, and they want to know you. And think about this, about writing a book. And I always say, the people who've written bestsellers, they didn't sit down and say, this is going to be a bestseller. Right off, they had an idea, concept, and they just did it. And I think that they believed in it. The unknown, you never going to know.
Right.
And these places that it hit me the other day, man, we were somewhere, and you sent me a text, we're like, boom. Well, in this particular scenario, we went out, and, sometimes we had that crowd, we're like, boom, we know we dropped. We bring it 110, 20%. Right. Every time we do it, we like, man, because at the time we want to hit hard like we feel it and what we know. Right. But sometimes those seeds will come back when you ain't even thinking about it. You done moved past in your life and somebody say, oh, I caught on to this. I'm really invested in this. Had we not have put it together,
man,
you don't know what the known is.
Yeah. Great point. I was like, what is he talking about? Yeah, let's tell him the story.
Yeah. I'll start, you finish, right? I'm gonna be Scottie Pippen. I'm gonna throw you an alley-oop, Jordan over here. But basically, we went out, man. We were like, we gonna put this tour on. Because we set a blaze. We were like excited. We started Manassas. We sold Manassas out. Manassas was just like popping. So we were like, okay, man. We put the tour together. We were like, let's go. But we already had planned it. We was down. I think we were in VA Beach.
We went to. Where did we start? What was the first spot? Was the first spot Virginia Beach? First spot was Virginia Beach. I know we ended up in Richmond. Where did we go in between there? Because there was another one.
Charlotte.
No, we didn't do Charlotte.
Oh, that was a separate time.
Talking about in the same weekend. Didn't we do 3 in the same weekend in Virginia? Yeah. I know it was Richmond and Virginia Beach. What was the other one?
I think the other one was Winston-Salem. But
it was
only 2 then. I think it was 2.
It was only 2 that weekend?
Yeah, it was only Richmond, and then it was only Virginia Beach.
Come on. I thought it was another one. No?
Nah.
It was just a 3-day weekend.
Yep, it was a 3-day weekend.
Okay. All right.
What it was, we did.
Virginia Beach was first.
Yeah, we did North Carolina. They were like back to back.
But that particular weekend, we just did Virginia Beach and Richmond?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Pick it up.
So we was there, man. Virginia Beach, we was all in. People registered. We thought we got there. It was like not even I won't even say not even a third of the people that registered was there. We was like, hey, bro, we let each other like, we gonna go hard. We went hard, boom, nothing. Nobody signed up. We were like, okay, cool. Like, okay, so we had to go to Richmond.
Wait, no, let's stop right there. You got to tell them right there, because I want to paint a real picture. So we were capping off registration at 25 people, right? Free event, book it, masterclass. We would, on paper, we would have 18 people registered for the event.
Yep.
In Virginia Beach, we had got, we got a hotel on the beach. You walk out, you right on the beach. We eat good food. We chilling. We like, yeah, tomorrow we finna kill it. We got 18 people signed up. Bruh, we get there. Let's be honest. Let's do the math. 4 people showed up. 4 people. Right? The room that we thought we were getting, we didn't get. The equipment we thought we had, we didn't have. it was just like, all right, forget it. We just gonna make it happen. Like we always do. We just like, yo, we're gonna make it happen. We do the presentation, kill it. Nobody signs up for the package. So I'm pissed. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm pissed. Like I'm so mad nobody signed up and the people didn't show up. And the lady wanting a donation, no, didn't nobody come to the thing. She wanted a donation. I'm like, all right. So I give her my card to give the donation for the room because she thought because she was donating the room for a donation. Give her the donation. I'm eating my food, and the girl that came to collect the money, I was giving her all kind of attitude because I was like mad because I ain't making no money, right? So we like, all right, cool. Fast forward. This is what Doc was talking about. Fast forward. That was a year ago. One of the people who was in the class reached back out, said they ready to go. We sold that seed a year ago and went and paid the full amount. Didn't pay no deposit. Didn't do nothing. Say, yo, I'm ready to go. Here's my card. We sold that seed a year ago. Now, if y'all want to laugh, so we devastated, right? That we didn't sell nothing.
Bro.
On the way to Richmond, we like, yo, if we don't sell nothing in Richmond, like, you talk about hungry, because I ain't been spending money now. I don't like spending money. Y'all don't know this about me. You can call me cheap. You can call me whatever. I'm frugal. I don't like spending money. I got the hotel room. We've been eating good, gas, all this stuff. And I said, bruh, today we got to sell. I'm praying. I'm like, yo, so we get there, we see the room. We're like, okay, this is going to be dope. We start setting up. They kick us out of the room. They put us at the top level of this joint, all the way in the back. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even trip. Today we finna crush it. We going to crush it. We finna get it. And so one person came. Two people came. Next thing you know, we got 5 people in that mug. Then we look up, we got 10 people in that mug. Then we had 12 people in that mug. And I went outside and I prayed. And I said, I'm getting at least 5 of them joints. I'm getting at least 5. And boy, Doc went up, I came up, cleaned it up, got 5 of them mugs. One person paid full, other people paid their deposit. But we was hungry, bro. Like, we've been in these trenches. We've been out here. So you never know. Like I said, and all of that started from us sowing the seed. And then here somebody come almost a year later to get it done. But yeah, bro, I'm going to let you finish it out, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out.
I was like, man, so you never can pull up a seed when you put it in the ground.
No.
That's the thing about it. Once you put that thing in the ground, and the biggest thing that kept us, man, is that we had a made-up attitude. And we laugh about it now, like we tripped because we went all in. We were hungry. We're like, Richmond got to come through.
Yep.
But then we didn't even know because I'm thinking we forgot. And I'm like, man, Kelly hits me up and like somebody sold into that ground. So you can't worry about the unknown. You just got to go ahead and do what the known is. The known is you got a product. You got an idea. You got a dream. You got a vision. Just do it. And I think that's the biggest thing that I want to share with people tonight, man. Don't try to figure out the unknown.
Yeah.
Trying to get started, trying to fulfill something, you still worry about the unknown. That's the most confusing place to be in your life. Yeah. You're going to have to either just sink or swim. And that's what we were out there. We were like, hey, we out here now. Let's do it.
We was riding high off the success of the first one. Like the first one, we killed it. We smacked the first one. But yeah, so it's all about just doing it, man. Getting over that fear and just doing it because you never know. Like, man, I could tell y'all so many stories. This is going to have to be another podcast about how I overcame the fear and did things that put me in a position to even make more money, like down the line that I never even thought about. Like, man, that's gonna have to be another podcast. But when I think about it, man, it's just so many. All of the big leaps that I took have paid off tremendously. Like, man, have they paid off? And I can't stress that enough. So get over your fears, write the book, invest the money, get over your rejection. Don't worry about the unknown and just get it done. It's time, and you know it's time. You got the money sitting in your account, but you're afraid to do it. room on your credit card, but you're afraid to take that leap. It's time to do it and quit worried about it. I've been, bruh, I've been places where I maxed out my whole credit card, bruh. Maxed it out. And guess what? Made it happen. Made it happen. Made it happen. Took those leaps. So it's time to go. All right, bro. You got anything else before we close them out here?
No, bro. We don't hit them hard today. We don't give them enough. Tonight, wherever you are, this one, you're gonna feel this.
You're gonna feel it. Getting over that fear. All right. So guys, make sure you share this podcast, comment for us, leave us a review on iTunes, give us 5-star rating, share it on social media, share it. If you're enjoying this content, share it. Don't just keep telling me how much you like it. Let the world know how much you like this podcast. Stop being selfish and keeping this a secret. Help more people, because that's what this is for. We're doing this to help people. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube, everywhere. Like us on Instagram. If you want to book us for speaking, as you can see, we're ready. If you want coaching, we're ready. Shoot us an email at booksnbrothas@gmail.com. We're ready to rock with you. Any final words, bro, before we give them the quote?
That's it, man.
All right. You don't have to get it right.
You just got to get it going.
All right, bro. I'll holler at you, man. Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
I have a book in me.
This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award-winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.